dear friends. My name is Xavier and I am a Cuban writer. I would like to ask you something. What if you realize that all you know, all you think you know, is part of a fiction? A well-planned system of stories to keep us quiet, warm and confident, while real life is going on behind our backs. Of course, you already knew that. The system of fictions is so elaborated that it has created a second level of fiction, movies, comics, novels, to make us believe that the idea of the great storyteller, of a small group of controlling minds that we used to call government, but that is actually a more complex notion, is nothing but a joke, an exaggeration of our novelist, a non-existing being. Therefore, ours is not a strictly physical fight, though often it becomes a war, but a challenge for the mind, a war of fiction. You can only fight stories by using other stories, stories that, as small and dangerous arrows, point to the core of the great fiction that keep us in the shadows of ignorance. 50 years ago, the story went like this. The democratic countries fight for the freedom of the world. First, they destroyed fascism. Now they fight communism. It was James Bond against the Russians, Star Wars against the boring Soviet films, Kennedy versus Khrushchev. But after the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, the fiction lost its meaning. Now there are new enemies and new fictions. Our popular culture considers the Arabs to be terrorists, the Latin people to be drug dealers, and the Africans to be immigrants and violent. Except for Cuba and other dictatorships, communism is only alive in the most naive and extremist ideologies of our century. We breathe the idea of democracy, we love freedom, and we have developed a great attachment to the white, civilized American way of living. By all means, we desire to be inside the warm liquid capsule of the Matrix, the perfect, or at least possible world that the great storyteller has designed for us. In this great silence of the mind, there are always honest people that wave stories to open our eyes, stories of hope, of a different world. They often talk about the uncomfortable matters. Kids are suffering in China, journalists are dying in Mexico, United States signs a secret friendship with Russia while they perform the theater of Cold War, and the so-called socialist countries of Latin America are nothing but a manipulation and lack of dignity. Nobody likes to hear about this, but the voices keep talking. The generations that were forced to forget, to twist, to rewrite their story by the power of the great storyteller are now in panic because they know that the overwhelming power of fiction makes them aspire to a full control of our thirst for stories. The best weapon, if you ask me, is to become, each one of us, creators of our own story and better readers of other people's words. Let us become responsible storytellers, awake citizens, truly speaking and listening beings. We need stories that warn others about the planet, the damage that we are causing to the whole nature. We require a strong and powerful word that breaks the wall of ignorance surrounding our societies. We need to read, to know more, to recover our memory, and to use our mind for a greater purpose than purchasing, building up a mask in Facebook, or planning our next vacation. There are many other people beyond the borders of the perfect and ideal fiction that need to be heard, that need to wave their own stories. This is a complex and wonderful world we're living in. We can be heroes like in the ancient books. We can stand by what is right and truthful. We can be ourselves, outside and against the corrupted version of life that others have designed for us. Let us take the definitive step into the beautiful core of life. That, my friends, is the story I want to tell my children. Thank you very much.